Johnny Fuego and Jimmy Mango fans, welcome back to Miku's Crackhouse. This episode
That's been living rent-free in your brain since last week, hasn't it?
Oh no, you're lucky. I literally remembered it like 20 seconds before I hopped on this call.
I was thinking earlier, I was like, why those names? You know?
Why those names? Listen to the last
Skinner, beaten Tito. that has a story. That has a story. Johnny Fuego and Jimmy Mango. They
have no backstory.
The pedophile
They're just
hunters. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their backstory.
Anyways, that's Myles J. I'm Sam K. Welcome to Miku's Crackhouse. I already said that. Anyways, Myles, I've been having a lot of fun this week. I've been playing some cool ass games. I started playing Resident Evil 4, the original, of course.
The remake?
Everyone
the best game?
Oh my god, first of all, let me just start by saying, before I even launch it, let me just launch right into this. I fucking hate having to put Resident Evil 2004, Resident Evil 2005.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it sucks.
I hate it.
You know what the worst part is?
All I wanted to know was how many chapters were in the goddamn game. And all it's like, there are 16 chapters in the remake. I'm like, it could be different.
It's roughly the same. It's actually roughly the same, but there is a chapter in Resident Evil 4 called The Final Chapter. So technically there's actually more content in Resident Evil 4 than there is in Resident Evil Remake. I actually am willing to bet that Resident Evil Remake is shorter on the whole than Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, and the reason why I was interested in playing 4 was a couple of reasons. Number one, I became aware of the Good and Arrow video about the Resident Evil 4 HD project, which was a project I did not know about, but Myles. This shit fucking owns, dude.
You're preaching to the choir, man. Like I will only ever play it on the HD project because the quality of life stuff, there's not a lot of it, there's not a ton of it, but like the real shit, and this is so stupid. So how far into the game are you?
Okay, so I'm at the end of Act 2. I'm at the beginning of 3-1. So.
Okay, Sam, 3-1 is when the real HD project begins because you're in an opulent castle, and what does an opulent castle have? Opulent paintings. This is my Saul Goodman impression. Opulent paintings. Anyways, so the original HD version, they didn't redo the paintings. I wouldn't expect them to. Seems like a giant pain in the ass. They got a real painter. I mean, there's lots of real painters. I'm not trying to... I mean, it's impressive because, like, you could have hired, like, an AI upscaler, right? You could have hired some guy who could AI upscale all the paintings.
Yeah.
But they hired, like, a real-ass painter to repaint all the fucking portraits in this giant castle.
That's awesome.
Back when I played this game, like, okay, so I played the Wii version first because I'm a casual. I was a little too young to play it when it came out in 2005. So I played it when I was, 16, 17 in, like, 2010 on the Wii version, right? I think the HD versions had just come out on Xbox and PS3, but I didn't play them at the time. And then I played the HD versions, of course, when they came to PS4. And Sam, those paintings were still in 360p.
Oh, that's
and so
brutal.
They were just smeared. It looks like a Breath of the Wild texture. Like sometimes when you're on a cliff and you could just see like the textures just stretched thin like a condom. Yeah, like. It's just those textures were you could measure them bits in 8 bits, and so they got a real painter to paint all these paintings again, and it's like, oh my god, Sam, it's beautiful. That's the moment where I was like, now this shit is the good shit. So Sam, speaking of the good shit, we got to talk Resident Evil 4 strategy. Sam, how do you play?
Okay, so let me give you my loadout. Let me give you my full attachment case loadout.
Attaché case. Attaché
case. Which, by the way, just want to preface to everyone, the next, I don't know how long we're going to talk about Resident Evil 4, but when Myles talked about Breaking Bad the last couple episodes, and he said every opinion that everyone already has, I'm about to do this. for Resident Evil 4. Because basically everyone likes the fucking game. Wow, what a shocker. I do too. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And that fucking case management is so much fun. Twisting around the, being able to rotate the objects. After 130 hours of Kenshi, stack management, where you can't rotate it, it's very fun to do that.
Wouldn't it be more fun, Sam, if you could just go and the job did itself? Wouldn't that just be so much more fun? If it was just brainless and you didn't even have to engage with the mechanic, wouldn't you just like that so much more?
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Hello remakes, my old friend.
Oh man, I did not. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I bet they added a auto optimized.
Because God forbid you ask anything of anyone.
It's like, because the whole point of good management is so you could carry more items to be better at the game, like, and to be in a better position in the game. So skillfully maneuvering your stuff to make it all work is like worthwhile, and to just kind of get rid of that is a little bit of a shame.
No, what I will say about the auto sort is that it's technically not efficient. It stacks it seems to prioritize things with a horizontal stack, and if you've noticed, the attaché case is wider than it is long. And so a horizontal stack with bullets and with healing items, because they're 1x2, it's just inefficient. So the auto sort does seem to punish you a little bit for relying on it by making sure that everything is sorted, horizontal, so it's 2x1. Whereas you get more bang, no pun intended, for your buck by again, no pun intended. Sorry, I had to. By stacking everything 1x2 yourself. But it is a situation where most of the items in Resident Evil 4 Remake are like oddly shaped. So there is a certain degree of, I shouldn't say oddly shaped, but like there's not a lot of items in Resident Evil 4 Original, which I'm just going to refer to as Resident
simple.
Evil 4.
It's either like,
yeah, it's almost always like 2x4, 1x2,
1x2.
Yeah, things kind of break down very cleanly. One of the few exceptions is the bolt action rifle, which is 7x1, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool item, but the medium-sized attaché case that you buy in Chapter 1-2, I think it's like 6x10 or like 8x10. It's not a lot. So
is it worth buying?
I mean, obviously, yeah. You want to buy every single attaché case.
Okay. Because the first one, I was like, the first one's obviously a no-brainer, but I'm like, man, it's like 2,400 patas.
Pesetas.
Parent-teacher associations.
Pesetas, yeah. PTS. This is, dude, it's 2,400 Korean boy bands. I mean, I can't believe it. Like, just so many. Yeah, I all of them are worth getting. You're pretty much going to want to get all of them. But I'm done ranting about the remake for the next 4 minutes.
So here's my weapon. Here's my weapon loadout. So currently, your homie with his extreme, incredible weapon stacking skills is rocking with 5 guns.
Oh my god!
We got the regular standard 9mm. We got the shotgun, of course. We got the bolt action rifle, of course. We got the TMP with the stock arm. We also I forgot to mention, I also have the scope for the bolt action rifle as well. You gotta have the scope, of course.
You actually don't have to have the scope.
And then the 5th item is the 5th gun. Oh, what the hell is
the
it?
Punisher?
It's not the Punisher, and it's not Red 9. Not those two. It's the other one. I think so. I don't know. I don't think I've really used it that often. Can you describe the color
of the gun?
Actually, I think I only have 4. That's my bad. I think I only got 4 guns.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I think it's just those 4.
It's always redundant to have another pistol. So,
because that's the thing. Because I didn't buy Red 9 because it said in the merchant, he said it takes 9mm rounds. I'm like, you're not. No, I've already leveled up this pistol enough. I'm not doing that.
So here's the thing, Sam. Here's the thing. And I'll go over my strat. I mean, do you want, like, slight spoilers of what the weapon names are in the game? There's only 2 other weapons that you haven't obtained.
Okay, yeah, give them to me.
Sort of. Okay. And by the way, I'm just gonna rip these names. I'm just gonna fucking throw them, and you're just gonna be like, what? What kind of gun is that? Because I'm not gonna tell you what kind of gun it is. Okay? You're gonna discover it on your own. So that's exciting.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, start the game. Keep your pistol unupgraded until Chapter 1-3, in which case you're going to get the Punisher. You're going to sell your unupgraded pistol, and then keep the Punisher, which you get for free. And if you shoot all 15 medallions, you get 1.1 damage on the Punisher, so it's a free 0.1 damage upgrade, which can help out at least a little bit. Get your free shotgun, of course. Don't upgrade that shit. It's garbage. Don't bother. And then get your bolt-action rifle. Never buy the TMP. TMP's for babies. Fuck the TMP. So you run the entire...
Gun? There's no other guns left to fucking use!
I'll explain, Samuel. So run chapters 1, or Act 1 and Act 2... No upgrades. Raw dog that shit. No lube, no condom, no upgrades. You're going in, and this game better be on the pill, because you are not using any protection. You're going in raw, Samuel, until you get to Act 3-1. And at Act 3-1, Sam?
Wait, Act 3-1? Dude, 2-3 is hard.
Well, here's the thing. Act 3-1, Sam, that's when they start pulling out the nice guns. Now, there is an option for you in Chapter 2-2 to buy the Red 9. And I'm going to break this down for you, Sam. There are 2 kinds of players in Resident Evil 4. And then there are 4 kinds of players, but 5 kinds of players, but 3 of them don't count if you ask me.
Okay.
And these players are classed by their pistol choice.
Oh boy.
So you have Silver Ghosts, the name of the default pistol. The Silver Ghost, that's you. The Silver Ghost is a first-time player, and men like our boy Julian, who swears by the Silver Ghost. Now, the Silver Ghost has a couple of major advantages, but it's kind of a vanilla gun. That said, by the end game, has one giant advantage that no other gun has. I will not spoil it. You are going to see it yourself, and you are going to love it.
Okay, cool.
Punisher players. These guys don't exist. No one is a Punisher player, and people rely on the Punisher for free, but the Punisher is basically the worst of the 5 pistols. Technically, there's only 4, but I will explain the 5th secret pistol.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, the Punisher, because I got it for free, because I got the 10 medallions. By the way, I couldn't find the 7th medallion in the farm.
It's really hard to find. So the 2 that you might have missed, there's 2 that you're very likely to miss. One is on the windmill by the door to the cabin.
I got that.
And then the other one is way high up on the gate to the cabin fight.
Oh, yeah, I probably missed
So they're in
one.
the same. They're both in the same area, like those far edge of the map that you're not able to progress through. So you're only going to want to visit it for those 2 medallions in Act 1-1.
Gotcha. So the way I'm doing this. Sorry for the voice crack. The way I'm doing this is I'm running one save file only. No resets. We take the L's. I mean poor wins. We take the poor wins for what they are. So when I fucking blew half my fucking load in the a really explicit episode today, by the way, we're like not even 15 minutes in. Anyways, but when I blew my half my fucking ammo load in one of the rooms, it's like, well, we're just gonna run with it. We got through it. So
that's how it should be. I'm glad I didn't realize there was a restart function on my first playthrough, because I know me. I know that I'm a restarting fiend. It's what I do. Oh yeah,
there's a retry.
And I didn't know about it, and God bless, I had to play the real way. So,
because I just know I'd be that bitch. If I allowed myself to do it, I'd be that bitch. And I'm like, oh no, I could have done that with like 4 or 5 less shots, like.
That's me. That's me now, because I can do it with 4 or 5 less shots. I have done it. The highest play I've ever done is 97% accuracy. And I did do a lot of restarts, but it was important to me to get like the highest possible accuracy score I could. I basically like I would restart if I missed like more than 3 bullets in a single like burst of fire. I'd be like unacceptable. But if I missed like 3 throughout the 3 or 4 throughout the stage, I'd just let it rock. Punisher players don't exist. The Punisher,
it's not very good.
No, it's not very good.
I didn't feel like it was very good when I got it for free and I shot it a couple times. I used the 10 free bullets it comes with, and I was like, this is underwhelming. I was told this was going to go through multiple zombies
so it does.
Spanish people.
It goes through 2 ganados every single time.
Ganados.
There we go. It goes through 2 enemies, but it's pretty rare that they're going to line up that well, and you're usually going to be going for headshots or limb shots anyway, so it's not terribly useful. That said, every weapon does have a little something special if you bring it to the end of the game with you. And that one has an equally underwhelming and pointless and really rare to use one. So there is not a single Punisher player. I've never met them. If they exist, they stack no paper and get no bitches. I think that the Punisher is a great Netflix television series for one season, and probably a good comic. I haven't read it because I'm a casual, but it's a bad gun. Don't even bother. Now,
what about Red 9?
There are Red 9 players, and Red 9 players are in an eternal war with Blacktail players, because those are objectively the best guns in the game, but for 2 very, very, very different reasons. And for many, many years, I was a Red 9 zealot. The Red 9 has the highest possible damage output of any pistol.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
But it also has the slowest rate of fire and the worst recoil of all of these guns. Which, here's the thing, you can buy a stock for the Red 9, which will alleviate the recoil.
I wanted to ask you, is the stock worth it for the Red 9?
Well, it is if you have a skill issue. But if you're good, like me, you don't bother with the stock. You go all in, balls deep, bang, 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 baby, with the Red 9. Now, the Red 9, as its special upgrade by the end of the game, is such a ridiculous pub stomper. I said, why would I go with anything else? Why would I ever use anything else, right? And then, as I was walking down the street with my meme girlfriend, another meme girl came, and I was like, over to her, and the Red 9 was so jealous because along came the Blacktail. Now, Sam, the Blacktail is a beauty, but it's not as cool as the Red 9. The Red 9 has a badass reload. Absolutely badass reload. It looks cool because it's a fucking Mauser.
Isn't it Louise's gun?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It looked. I was like, I think that's the Red 9 in one of the cutscenes.
And it's got a little 9 on the fucking handle, so it's really cool. The Blacktail, meanwhile, is just like a black pistol. Just looks
does it have a black tail on it?
No, it doesn't have anything as far as I can tell. But so every gun actually not only has different stats that you can see in the menu, but they also have different weights. And the weight determines how fast you can ready the gun. Now, obviously, the pistol, pretty good weight, right? The Red 9 has one of the longest ready times. In fact, I think it's the longest ready time of any pistol. Oh. And definitely a longer ready time for a gun. This isn't a huge problem if you're a good shot or if you're at a good distance, but if you're in close proximity, you might not be able to make enough shots in enough time if you're not quick on the draw. And then there's also not a glitch, but it's an exploit that lets you speed up the player by panning the camera with the right stick. This is what's nice about the visual aid. You pan the camera with the right stick, and then you press the R button to aim rapidly. So Leon will like turn in the direction of the camera, and you just tap it 3 times, and Leon's like turned way faster than he would with the tank controls. So this is how a lot of advanced players turn. It's really useful and it's really quick, but since it's based on the ready speed of the weapon, it also makes Leon turn slower with the Red 9. The Blacktail, in comparison, has the fastest ready speed and the fastest turn speed. It's also compact as fuck. It's the same exact size as the Punisher and the Silver Ghost.
Okay, 3x2?
Yeah, 3x2. And it has the fastest rapid fire in the game. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a rapid fire player. I'm a precision player. I go for the headshots. And that was why I thought, Well, the red 9's the best. You get the best damage per every single shot, right? And that's still true.
It's not about that.
That's still true. But the blacktail pumps faster. And so if you're a really good shot, really quick at lining up your shots, you can just bang, turn much faster than the red 9. And it has a faster aim speed and a faster turn speed. So if you're really good at placing your shots, like me, like the man right here, all right, I'm able to just go bam, 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 line up my fucking headshots super fucking fast. And now here's the thing. Final stats of the red 9, 6.5 damage. The exact same damage as an unupgraded shotgun at the start of the game. Blacktail, though, 4.5 damage.
I see.
And that's
a noticeable decrease.
A slight, but here's the thing. Noticeable
but does
decrease,
it matter
but you
when
can
you
get out
shoot
the shots faster. And
Yeah.
the highest ammo, the highest clip of any of these pistols holds 35 bullets.
Dude, that's insane. 30 fucking 5 bullets.
35 bullets with the fastest fire speed in the game and the second highest damage output of any pistol. To me, now that I've seen the Blacktail, it's no contest. But the Red 9's got the style points, and if you're the kind of guy who likes to just have a weapon that punches, the Red 9 is still totally viable. So while I'm a Blacktail enjoyer, I believe that the Red 9 enjoyers are not average fans. If that makes any sense to you.
What about the last one? What about the last gun? Because didn't you say there were 5?
Yeah. Now, there's only 4 pistols, Sam. The last kind is a lunatic player. They are the kinds of players who belong in a fucking insane asylum. These kinds of players need controversial shock therapy in order to get their brains right. These kinds of players go on Twitter and complain that there's not enough anime about college students. These kinds of players I have no respect for. And these, Sam, are the TM pistol players. People who use their TMP as a pistol.
Whoa. What? Wait a minute.
They
squeeze the
trigger.
TM. Why would you do that? It has separate ammo.
It
has separate ammo. You should run both.
They start selling their pistols and pistol ammos to use the TMP.
Okay.
These kinds of players.
I'm assuming you have to buy Blacktail. I'm assuming that must be bought. Okay.
Yes.
And Red 9 has to be bought, and you get Punisher for free. Because you will find 10 medallions. You just will find at least 10 of them. If you look for a second in both locations in which the medallions are. Is it worth the 30,000? Is it worth it?
Now
is it really worth it?
Their logic is sound. Their logic is sound at a distance. They only use the pistol to proc melee follow-ups. Headshots, knee shots, and whatever other melee follow-ups there are. I won't spoil them. There's some fun ones.
The TMP is good for this, by the way.
The TMP is great for this. And in theory, you can also use it as the spray and pray panic button crowd control that it actually is. But if you're only using the pistol to proc, melee follow-ups, and you're focused on really saving your ammo, the TM pistol players, who are dirty subhumans, but the TM pistol players do have a point. If you're not going to use your pistol that much, and TMP ammo is just on the whole more plentiful by default, they'll just give you stacks of 30 and 50. Why not? Why not do this? I'll tell you why not do this, Sam, because it boxes you into never using the pistol as an actual fucking gun, and it makes sure that accuracy is just never gonna happen for you. You're just never gonna have a good enough accuracy.
That's what the other guns are for. That's what the other guns are for.
Exactly, Sam. Exactly. Now, the TM pistol player, I get it. I do. The logic is sound.
They want to use the other guns.
The logic is sound, and you're right, Sam. The other guns are they do get more use now that you're using the pistol less, because ultimately you're going to be using the pistol 80% of the time. But there are still so many great weapons, and the pistol is just worth a good pistol. It's just worth keeping around. So I think TM players, first of all, and also I'm an accuracy kind of guy. I like to get a high accuracy score. TMP tanks your accuracy score. Shotguns also tank your accuracy score.
Well, if you're a little pussy bitch, it tanks your accuracy score. If you're good and have a nice trigger discipline and can only let off one shot at a time, then you're going to be all right.
Which is what TM pistol players do. But either way, I personally, I never use the TMP because I don't play like a bitch, but also I don't really need the TM pistol either. So I say, screw it, save myself 30,000 pesetas, and I just call it a day. By the way, another really lame part of the remake, this is so lame and so stupid and so petty that I have a problem with this, but they replace the fucking treasure chests that pesetas are in with just little pouches of money. And it makes sense, but like, no, never.
The treasure chests were cool. That's a cool thing. They just got money spilling out of them. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Did you not collect gold bars after bosses either?
No, but gold bars are now an item for you to sell, like a normal treasure.
Oh, okay. It just automatically just say you got 50,000 patas.
Yeah, no, you have to sell the gold bar. But normally bosses, I think, do drop like reasonable pesetas, but it's not like the cool gold bar model. Where else was I going to go with this? Oh, yeah. So anyways, so once you get to Act 3-1, that's when you go nuts. You sell your bolt-action rifle. You sell your shotgun. You sell... I mean, if you're a blacktail man like me, you sell all that shit because you're about to get some new fucking weapons in, Sam. You're about to get some new fucking weapons. We got the riot gun. We got, as the Resident Evil 4 remake calls it, so that you don't know what kind of weapon it is, the Stingray. Okay? And the Mine Thrower. Now, the Mine Thrower is a controversial weapon. Weapon. Because it has very, very limited ammo, and it takes up a good amount of space. But Julian swears by the Mine Thrower for destroying shields. So it's something to consider. Now, you go through this, but you only upgrade your pistol and the Stingray. Riot gun, optional upgrade. But that's because there's some more guns on the horizon, Sam. This game keeps giving you guns, but there are decisions to make because they're redundant with your other guns. So you got to decide.
I don't want to get rid of the shotgun.
But Sam,
I don't want to get rid of the bolt action rifle.
Oh, trust me, you want to get rid of the bolt action rifle. You want to get rid of the bolt action.
But it doesn't take up that much room. It's like one of the...
But it, like, here's the thing. You're going to want to sell it because the Stingray, I guess I spoiled, the Stingray is another sniper.
This is another long-range weapon.
Even more compact than the bolt-action rifle. At the very least, horizontally, it's more compact. Vertically, it's another 2 square, but it's much smaller. And there's an even smaller shotgun than the shotgun. And it's based.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sawed-off shotgun.
Something like that. So anyways,
okay.
So you go through the game until you get to Chapter 4-1. You get a free gun there called the Broken Butterfly. And the Broken Butterfly is awesome. But you don't upgrade the Broken Butterfly either. All right, so you're rocking your upgraded Blacktail, your upgraded Stingray, okay? And Riot Shotgun, optional, because at Chapter 4-1 you can also get the next shotgun, and that's the one I get. And this is cool as fuck because there is a difference between the 2 shotguns in a major way. One is shoulder fire, one is hip fire. And so shoulder fire, better for headshots, but hip fire, much faster and much more compact. So it's a choice to be made, Sam. But to me, the choice is obvious. Choice is fucking obvious because this compact shotgun also holds more bullets. So that's more inventory space. For moi, Sam. And once you get to the final area of the game, you can sell your Broken Butterfly for the Killer 7. Yes, it is named after the game. Because on the gun's handle is the logo of the game, because that is a Capcom published... No, because it is cross-marketing, because it's a Capcom published game co-written by Shinji Mikami.
God bless. I did not know he co-wrote that game.
Yeah, well,
with,
obviously Suda51 gets the
yeah.
gets the credit for it, but if you're ever wondering how Shadows of the Damned happened, it's because Suda51 and Shinji Mikami co-wrote Killer 7. And you didn't think Shinji Mikami had it in him, but he did.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking wild. That's pretty fucking wild. Damn, I didn't know about all these crazy guns because I was like, because you get the guns we've talked about thus far pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they're viable. 1. They're viable throughout the whole game.
Yeah, they're pretty dope. You would definitely have a brain aneurysm watching my gameplay. I gotta say, all things considered, I feel like my shot accuracy is like decent.
Yeah, it's probably not bad.
It's in like the 70s, which I think is pretty all right for a first.
Yeah, that's
playthrough.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's no fucking 90+ percentage, but I'm assuming I'm gonna need to be on playthrough 2 or 3.
Oh, you're gonna need to be on playthrough fucking 5 or 7 or 10, frankly.
Oh, yeah, probably. I definitely want to go through this a couple times, especially since now that I know that there's like so many more guns. It's like, oh, okay. I want my next playthrough to be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna no upgrade first 2 acts. And follow your little cute route and see how it gets different.
The other part is once you know some fucking game knowledge, you can also go crazy. Because incendiary grenades, right? You're holding on to those. You're probably like, these are good, but I'd rather just have a normal.
Yeah, just kind of throw them out when there's a group or whatever.
Now, here's the thing, Sam. Mendez is weak to the incendiary grenade. And this is slightly spoilered by the fact that Leon, to get him into the boss phase, sets him on fire. They put 2 and 2 together like that.
Oh, yeah. So that
sense.
fight... Yeah, so we're talking about... By the way, this is the fight in 2-3, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I definitely struggled with this. It took me a couple
Everyone
tries.
Does. It's really tough.
The trick I learned with phase 2 is you just never go upstairs. Just never fucking go upstairs. And when he's on the second floor, you can throw a flash grenade and it'll just fucking plop right to the ground. And then you can just fucking spray him with TMP bullets. Or he's too far away typically for the shotgun to do meaningful damage.
You don't want to use the shotgun. I mean, the pistol's fine, but you want to hoard your incendiary grenades. The minimum you can kill him with is 4. Typically, I average 5.
Okay.
But like that becomes a fun like sub-objective throughout the first 2 acts. Like, all right, I'm not upgrading my guns, but I gotta keep all of these incendiary grenades, and you're also hoarding all your flash grenades for the cabin fight in 2-2. Like,
oh yeah, I also used a flash bang or 2 in that cabin fight, which is great, by the way. Great encounter.
Oh yeah,
really fun.
And again, I said it's a top 10 screen in the game, not top 5, because that's how good this game is.
Yeah, it's been awesome. No, the levels have been super fucking great. I remember I messaged you this. I'm like, I can't really name many other games that are as immediately fun and interesting as this game is. Like the second it starts, it's like, oh dude, this is awesome. Like this is some of the best shit here.
Right away, man.
It's like the vibes and like the gray ass fucking like Spanish village. Is awesome and super creepy. I love the dog. I love the dog in the bear trap that lets you know that bear traps are a thing you gotta fucking watch out for, which, by the way, I'm fucking free. I'm not gonna be able to handle the mental image of Leon getting his fucking leg caught in the bear trap. Like, I just don't want to see that shit. So, like, I'm like, I see 3 of them and I'm like inching up to it because I learned you could trigger them with the knife, so I didn't have to waste bullets. So I'd inch up close to them and just start swinging away.
What's funny, too, is the bear trap deals damage to Leon in Resident Evil 4. In Resident Evil 4 Remake, it just, like, holds him in place. It just does no damage to him. It's kind of weird. I don't know why.
It cuts into his fucking leg.
I keep thinking the same exact thing. Because, like, a bear trap is, like, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Fucking horrifying. And the dog comes back in the boss fight in 1-3 against El Gigante.
2-1, but yes.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm
sorry. It's all good. You're gonna learn these things, and before you know it, you're gonna look back on this episode the same way that I look back on my Elden Ring talk, where you're just like, "What was I doing?
I haven't said anything out of pocket.
No, you really haven't. Like that's
actually,
that's
I will say something. I will say something out of pocket. Here's my biggest fucking criticism with the game so far: is that Leon loses his fucking jacket within 20 minutes.
Everyone agrees.
That what the fuck? Where does it go? Why do they take his jacket but not his weapons?
Fun fact: that's addressed in separate ways. The Ada campaign, which is terrible in my opinion, but. Like, Separate Ways proves that Resident Evil 4 is 50% level design. Because every room and every, like, enemy layout in Separate Ways is, like, tragic and bad compared to, like, just how perfect Resident Evil 4 itself is. It's
was
like...
Separate Ways PS2 content?
It was PS2 content, yeah.
Okay.
And it sucks. Yeah. fucking garbage. Basura! As Johnny Fuego and Jimmy Mango, who are now ganados, would say.
But yeah, okay, I'm glad I'm not alone on that. Yeah, that jacket is so sick.
Keep his jacket.
Oh, that's cool. Because here's the, I like that he gets rid of it eventually. I like the look I like, the black shirt with all the fucking belts and equipment strapped on. That shit's cool too. But, like, he needed to wear that jacket, like, up until the castle,
I think he needed to wear it until 1-3, because there's a perfect excuse in 1-3 when he fucking faints.
Yeah.
That works.
Exactly. But instead he gets taken out, strapped, handcuffed up with Lewis, and it's just gone, and we just never see it again, I guess.
Until Separate Ways, which
Until
sucks.
Separate Ways, which is horrible, which I probably won't play, I guess.
You might want to experience it at least
once.
Yeah, you might want to experience it at least once. There is a unique boss fight in Separate Ways, so that's cool.
That's cool. But yeah, I like I've liked the boss fights so far, but they've been pretty interesting. Although sometimes I am a little confused about when exactly a quick time dodge is going to come up and when it's just like a regular attack, like a normal attack that the boss does. Like I kind of realized that in like the Mendez fight, like sometimes he'll just do this little bitch swipe at you, where it's like, oh, that was just an attack. Okay, I wasn't gonna roll. Yeah,
it's pretty inconsistent. There's not a ton of bosses in the game, but when there are, it is relatively inconsistent. Like when you can actually do a dodge. Though I think that the second and third bosses are really consistent for the most part. So
yeah, it's mostly and I got around it because on the attempt, my like fourth attempt fighting Mendez, that I actually won on, I think I only took one hit in both phases. So it ended up doing pretty well, and I just got into the motion of just moving out of the way like 2 or 3 seconds before I was doing beforehand, and that kind of saved me a lot of trouble. Because just like running the fuck away, like turning tail and just fucking going 10 steps back is like the best defensive maneuver imaginable in fucking Resident Evil. Aside from getting like a headshot or a knee shot and like kicking them,
or getting iframes, like doing going up a ladder or jumping over a fence, that gives you iframes.
Oh yeah, any of the X button animations give you iframes, I'm assuming, right? Or yes. Most of them do. Okay. And I think they also apply to Ashley too, because there was definitely a moment I committed a kick and she was definitely gonna get fucked up by a monster, that didn't happen.
It actually might. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, because this is a well-designed game and they figured out that makes the most sense.
Yeah. But I have a question about like dealing with like big groups of enemies, because essentially, since you're like a pistol guy, a big red 9 dude, big black tail guy, black tail boyo, you could maybe help me out here. So you do the headshot. You go up, you kick them. If it's an enemy by themselves, you go up, you crouch down, or you like bend over and you fucking knife them till they die. But when there's like a group of them, I'll do the kick, and maybe some of them will go flying, or some of them will just get knocked back. And then I'm just kind of at like a loss for what to do at that point. I'm like, do I do another headshot and kick that guy? Well, that guy's going to get up, and then I'm going to be kind of like sandwiched in, and that's not going to be a good situation. Or like I also got to deal with Ashley now, and make sure she doesn't get sandwiched into any of the shenanigans.
The best thing to do there, and I mean, there's a couple of options here. You can just wait until they all recover and do it again. That obviously deals more damage. The other thing you can do is you can find where the most enemies fell, like, closest to each other, and try and find an optimal knife position to, like, hit multiple enemies. Ideally, like, there will be 2 or 3 enemies who are, like, side by side, and you can knife all of them at once.
Yeah, you kind of, like, one's leg is kind of going through, like, one's, like, shoulder or whatever, so you can kind of hit both.
And it's all does the same amount of damage. It all does the same amount of damage. So the knife deals 0.6 damage, which is 60% of one pistol shot at the start of the game. So you're saving a lot of ammunition with that.
Yeah, it's totally. I realized, knifing is super good, in this game, and that you should whip it out whenever possible. But I've when there's like groups of specifically like 4 enemies kind of around each other, I've just been like. I get up and I kick and then I kind of like run back a little bit and I just like shoot a little bit here and there. I'm just trying to conserve my ammo.
I mean, that's a pretty fair way to do it. The thing is, the more ammo you spend, the more ammo the game gives you back. There's like a bias system for drops. I don't know, like, if there's any math to, like, okay, every 5 bullets you shoot roughly, you get, an ammo upgrade or like an ammo drop or something like that. But you really shouldn't be too afraid of spending in this game. They'll pretty much always give you what you spent back.
Yeah. I felt pretty safe as far as my bullet economy is concerned. What's
infuriating about the remake is that, like, I can play the exact same way and like sometimes just never have any ammo. It's really weird. Because there's a bunch of fucking gunpowders and resources that just pollute the item pool.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, fucking craft, bitch. Like,
yeah, it's like, I why'd you even add crafting? I mean, I know that it's because, like, Resident Evil 7 and 8 had crafting, but and 3 had crafting, but 3 had crafting in the fucking PS1 version too. It's different.
Yeah, the difference with those games is that they were designed with crafting in mind. You're adding crafting into a game that didn't have it and expecting it to just work.
Yeah, it's not even horrible. It just makes, like, a perfect bullet economy less perfect.
Yeah, and that's a shame. That's why
that's the whole thing about this remake is it's small shames. It's little tiny shames.
And this is also something I've realized too, and I'm excited to see if my opinion evolves on this at all when I do the last 3 acts of the game. Because I like here's why I like Resident Evil 4, Miles. I like Resident Evil 4 because it's a fun, like, House of the Dead arcadey ass action video game. It's got deep arcade roots and deep arcade energy flowing out of every single orifice of the gameplay. But that's not why Resident Evil 4 is a widely beloved, popular video game. It's beloved because it's an excellent game because of the arcade shit, but that's not why most modern people claim to love Resident Evil 4. They claim to love Resident Evil 4 because it's actually like a mind-blowing fucking video game. Like, graphically in 2005. Because I remember when I was introduced to Resident Evil 4, I got introduced to it in like 2006 or 2007 at like a friend's like sleepover. We were in his basement. And someone had Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, and they put it in. And I remember, like, the village section and just how fucking creepy it was, and getting that Leon's head decapitated by the Chainsaw Man. Shout out, great manga. And by the way, fuck the room. Fuck in chapter 3-3 where they're like, hey, you want to take the hallway route, which you should always take the hallway route. Oh my god. Or you can take the long fucking way, where you have to fight 2 bitches. You gotta fight like 10 enemies, and then after all that's said and done, you gotta fight 2 bitches who come on you from left and right that have one-shot chainsaws. I did not complete that room. I went and did the hallway. Even though I realized after I finished that room, I'm like, I would have got more money if I went and did that room.
Now, the thing is, the game actually has an incentive for you to do both rooms on a single fucking playthrough, because the elegant mask that you get in chapter 1-2, which you probably missed because I missed it. It's a little hard to find, but
is that where you have to set the green and the yellow eyes?
Yes.
In?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. God damn it! All right, I guess I better sell those fucking things.
Sorry, the cat's eyes go inside the beer stein.
I don't have that either.
Yeah, that's in chapter 1, and I think it's probably still there when you return to the village in chapter 2 too. But it's in the second screen of the village, the one with the medallions.
Oh, okay.
The elegant mask is in chapter 1-2, and that's where you put the gems. There's green gem, orange gem, and purple gem. Right.
Oh, okay.
Now, what's cool about Resident Evil, and again, I brought this up as like a thing I don't care for in the remake. Like in the original game, you get the beer stein in chapter 1-1. You get the red cat's eye in chapter 1-1. You don't get the green cat's eye until chapter 1-3, and you could probably still get it in chapter 2-2. And then you don't get the yellow cat's eye until chapter 2-3. So it's like the entire fucking village, you're kind of like just like slowly assembling this perfect treasure. And then when you sell it, it's like $25,000 or something. And it's just like, it just feels so good to go from, is that old stranger, to, I'll buy it at a high price. Like,
okay, so that line of dialogue specifically denotes like, okay, this is good.
It's over 10,000 pesetas.
Okay, cool.
That's how you get I'll buy it at a high price.
He fucks, by the way.
Oh,
Merchant fuck.
He's awesome. There's a reason he's so iconic. To be fair, and this might be controversial, I think that the Duke from Resident Evil 8 is as cool as the Merchant.
I've actually heard a lot of people be Duke heads.
Duke is awesome and beloved, but I don't know if people think of him as cool. I actually think I like him more than the Merchant.
Is just, Duke just, I'm like, man, how'd you get here? Like, because he's chilling in a fucking Lady D's castle, and I'm like, wow, bro.
Dude, the Duke is so awesome because he's basically just an enigma in and of himself. He's fucking awesome. The Merchant, like, is a similar kind of, like, he's a surreal element to the game, I guess. But, like, the Duke, like, all of Village is, like, vaguely surreal, but the Duke is, like, very much like, oh, yeah, there's no logical answer to any of this. It doesn't matter. Whereas, like, there's probably, like, some arguments that could be made about the Merchant. The Merchant has the same crazed eyes as a Ganado, like, so there's some theories there, for example. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's
but
some cool
he's
stuff
a homie. He's sick. He's a homie. I like Luis. He's cool. I like Ashley. She's fucking funny.
Ashley's awesome.
Yeah.
And she makes the game better. She just makes the game better because protecting her is more interesting.
I can't believe one of the greatest games of all time is 70% fucking escort mission.
It's way less than 70%. It's way less than 70%.
Oh, okay. Oh, so she like cuts loose in like a couple chapters
times,
or a couple sections.
Times. Yeah, I would say it's like 40% escort mission. It's just enough to not be annoying, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't really cause me any fucking issues.
That's the thing. She's super well programmed. Like, she stays behind you. If you pull out a weapon, she either ducks, depending on how far she is, or if she's close to you, she'll just zip right behind you.
Yeah,
like,
she just
really
gets
well programmed.
She just gets out of the fucking way. She causes no fucking problems.
Anyone who complains about like Ashley
press X to catch Ashley, and she's immediately fucking hopping down. No fucking wasted time. No, give me a boost, Joel. And it's got to take fucking 7,000 years. No, it just happens.
Anyone who complains about Ashley as an escort mission, I'm sorry, you have a skill issue. It's just like, it's not hard. You have a fucking skill issue, dude. Get over it.
But yeah, she's great. Her voice is like perfectly.
By the way,
fucking
that's
annoying.
Sandy Cheeks.
It sounded a bit familiar.
Yeah,
so yeah,
you
can hear it in it. You can definitely hear it. Leon, of course, is fucking hysterical. I love his like no smoking thing. I think that shit is so funny. How he I hope he's continually offered smokes in the rest of this game. I hope he's offered smokes. Oh no, he's only offered smokes twice. They don't do rule of threes.
No,
offering Leon smokes.
Well, I know that both Shinji Mikami and Hideki Kamiya are on record saying they don't like characters who smoke.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny. Because it's like a part of his character, because it happens twice. They really want you to know that Leon, he's cool as fuck, and he doesn't smoke. Hey, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Cigarettes are dangerous.
Don't smoke them, man. Don't smoke them.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'll report back. Hopefully I'll have the game beaten next time we play. I mean, it's not that long.
No, not at all.
I do, so chapters 3, 4, and 5 have one more act, or one more section each. They have like a -4 to them where it's just, 3 sections for, acts 1 and 2. But yeah, I'm excited to see the back half. I'm excited to see the castle. Can't believe also, by the way, that Resident Evil 4's village is better than Resident Evil Village's village.
Yeah, I mean, it's debatable because what's cool about the village is it's the Evil Within 2, like, tiny open world, which I'm, like, a fan of. I love the tiny open world. I love the big open world more than the tiny open world, but the tiny open world is so cute.
I feel like, oh man, that's an open world. Because here's the, I only played what we have played of Village. So I've only seen like a section of it. So it might expand and be a bit bigger.
Oh yeah, it's way bigger. And like,
oh okay, it's way bigger than that like first initial section
because it unfolds and it unlocks too, which is sick. Like I think the village in Village is very good. The problem with Village is all the stuff outside of the village after Dimitrescu's castle.
Yeah, that's another pretty short game too, by the way, right? That's only like 10 hours, right?
10 hours, 8 hours. I mean, all Resident Evil games are short, like, which is great, and it's great that they're still short. By the way,
if you were to boot up RE4 right now, what difficulty mode do you play on now? Do
professional.
You play on,
I only play on professional.
Oh, okay. Is that the difficulty they unlocks after normal, or is there another?
By the way,
mid-step?
A very reasonable difficulty.
Oh, I think normal's perfect. I think it's great. You know what I like about normal? It's what I like in games where it's the enemies aren't like super spongy or anything, but you can't really take that many hits. Like anytime you take a hit, it's like a meaningful mistake, and it's like, oh, bummer, you know. It's not like
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's not like. It's not like Mega Man, where like you take damage in Mega Man, and most of the time you're just going, oh, whatever, you know, shoot, move on. It's a bit more impactful anytime you take damage. So there's risk anytime you get in a situation, and getting out of a encounter without taking any damage is like, fuck yeah, yay, I did it. And yeah, it's really fucking fun. It's just really, really fun. I can't wait to fill everyone in on my my thoughts on the back half of the game. But yeah, anyways, that was 50 minutes about Resident Evil. Hope you guys like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Myles, there's another thing I wanted to.
Okay,
I wanted to
all
talk
right,
to
let's
you about
hear it.
this.
Let's hear it.
I want to talk to you about this week. It's something we've talked about before, but I've been there's a new perplexing situation that I wanted to get your take on, and B, wanted to discuss this topic, and it's spoilers. Myles, I want to talk to you about spoilers. And of course, not the car spoilers. Of course, we're talking about your media spoilers, because I know Myles, of course, loves automobiles. Legendarily, of course, iconically well-known automobile appreciator, Myles.
Automobile enjoyer.
I want to talk to you about spoilers, because I've been reading some manga recently, specifically 2 radically different stories. One of which was a story that I began reading because I knew about some initial story spoilers that kind of like kick off the plot, and that convinced me to read it. And then there's another manga in which the concept explaining what it's about is a fucking spoiler. So we're gonna go. So, everyone, guys, spoilers. Fucking spoilers. Check the timestamps.
You're not gonna remember, by the way. You're not gonna remember.
I don't do the timestamps. Thank you, Unbound Soul, for doing our timestamps.
Oh, bless you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Because I would not do them. All 10 people.
Yes. The story I read, because I knew the spoilers, was a story called We Did It, which is by the mangaka who would go on to create Blue Lock, which is that super fucking popular soccer manga and soccer anime that like aired a season or two ago. It got a lot of buzz because Japan was kind of popping off in the World Cup this year, and it was soccer related, and it's a crazy fucking manga, crazy sports soccer fucking thing. But before he did that, he did this 87 chapter seinen manga called We Did It. In Myles, I read it's 87 chapters. I read it in 2 days. I fucking went ballistic on this fucking manga. I was packing ballistics on this fucking manga. The premise of the fucking story is that these 3 high school kids and their one friend who like hangs out with them all the time, who's like a 20-year-old with like fuck you money, end up pranking a rival high school with little explosive devices that were meant to like blow up windows and like fuck up. It's kind of like a delinquent school. And one of the C4 devices sets off near propane gas in the school, and 10 people fucking die at this fucking school. And these guys who were normal, everyday people who appreciated just, being carefree and living normal, whatever, bullshit lives, fucking spiral immediately out of fucking control. And people who were once friends start turning on each other, backstabbing each other. They gotta run away from the cops. This shit is fucking insane.
It sounds like a very mature concept too. Like the story, the conflict of the story is what happens when your life is ruined.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. It's like, what happens if your life just suddenly is fucking over?
Yeah, and like,
and it
that
fucking
again,
spirals.
Most stories like would either dramatize that like with a sort of like they would either dramatize it with something more like narrative. This doesn't make a lot of sense, but like it would be a story about like drugs, like someone does drugs, the decline of doing drugs.
Yeah, like right? Metamorphosis or something.
Yeah, metamorphosis. Yeah, emergence. Or like the idea of like someone's life spiraling, right? Like that would be more of like a grand drama about like the slow decline, like a Breaking Bad, like the slow decline of someone based on decisions they make throughout a longer story. The idea that it's like, here's what happens, like you could do the same story about someone who kills someone in a car crash, right? Like a controversial car crash. Like, but a lot of people, I don't know, they just don't think like that about like the long-term consequences of like being a killer. Like,
dude,
by
like
accident.
that's the thing is, it's like, so there's a can I just fucking can I just tell the whole, can I fucking say the whole?
No, because I actually want to read it now.
You want to read it? Okay,
I do, yeah.
I won't say shit. You can read it on fucking, you can read it online. Scanlations are fine. They're totally fine. The art, by the way, is like so fucking ungodly good. It doesn't really look like traditional manga at all. The characters have a very like realistic look. Like the characters are ugly. Like the characters have like very like, they're not meant to look like attractive like manga characters that you read in like your typical magazines. It's like very like real, like trying to like realistic looking like Japanese people, or like more realistic looking portrayals of fucking like just regular people. It's and then the emotions that they have on their face are like so like grotesque and like horrible, but also just like very raw emotion. Please fucking read this shit, Myles. It's a top fucking 10 story for me. It's incredible, amazing. And then the other manga that I started reading was Oshi no Ko. Are you familiar with this at all? It just got a okay. So the reason why, so currently I'd say Oshi no Ko right now, I don't really keep up with anime at all or what's happening there, but based on my like horrible uninformed pulse reading, I think Oshi no Ko is like the anime of the season. The big boy. This spring season's big dog in the race. because Oshinoko's first episode is 90 minutes long.
Wow, okay.
And let me say this, Myles. I know why it's 90 minutes long. Would you like me to explain it to you?
How?
Because let me say that me explaining what the story's about is a massive, is huge spoiler.
How likely
for the story?
How likely do you think that I would be to want to actually see this?
I think you would like, because here's what I want to discuss about spoilers. I wouldn't have read We Did It if I didn't know it was about that shit. If it was about these normal guys who get way over their heads with a prank gone fucking wrong that just spirals.
Here's the thing. I would consider the We Did It thing. I don't think that's a spoiler, like, so to speak. I think that there is probably a way to deliver that story where, like, some of the surprises are still there, like saying, like, after a prank goes wrong and results in major casualties or in fatalities, right? Like, we didn't say, oh, they blew up a school and killed 10 people, right? Like, if I was the Netflix guy who's got to write the Netflix descriptions, I would say, after a prank gone awry results in fatalities or in student fatalities, right? 4 friends turn against each other as their mental health declines. Like, that's your byline, that's your synopsis, where you still have this synopsis. Where you still have a little bit of surprise there. So, too, right?
What I'm about to say, I'm gonna fucking spoilers for fucking Oshinoko. I'm telling you right now, y'all. Just you could trust me. It's pretty good. It's by, so for a little context for everyone, it's by the writer Aka Akasaka, who of course is the mangaka behind the phenomenal Love Is War. And during the midst of Love Is War running, he began writing Oshinoko with another artist whose name is like, it's like Mengo, I think, something.
Jimmy Mango.
Jimmy Mango? Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Mango. His name is Jimmy Mango. So Akasaka and Jimmy just came up with this story. And if you like Akasaka's work, you'll probably fuck with this. Although it's not really a comedy. So here we go, Myles. So the story, it follows a like 26, 27-year-old doctor who is kind of in like the middle of like bumfuck nowhere, countryside, Inaka, like Japan shit. And he is obsessed with 16-year-old idol Ai Hoshino, who is a part of the idol group B Komachi, and their whole idol group's pretty mid, but she's like the lead standout, like, person of the group. And he's a big fan, and he's a big fan of her, and was turned on to her in like idol culture from a terminally ill patient who was like a 12-year-old who was like a super, super big fan of Ai Hoshino. Well, lo and behold, Ai Hoshino appears at his hospital in the middle of bumfuck nowhere after announcing that she was taking a break from show business because 16-year-old Ai Hoshino is pregnant.
Ooh.
With a child.
Oh, wow. The way that you were stuttering, I was like, is there drama? Is it an alien? Like I was expecting you to say like with her manager, right? Which would be like,
With
but you were just like, she's pregnant with a child. It's like,
with a child.
Spoilers.
It's not one child. It's 2 childs. It's 2 children.
Now that's more of a spoiler.
That's spicy. So basically, she needed to being that she's a 16-year-old idol star who's about to fucking give birth. That's not gonna fucking fly. And they're just like, yeah, if anyone finds out about this, it'll tank our whole our whole operation here. So, or our whole production business. So we have to go to the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So basically, the doc is like a super big fan, and basically over the course of like a montage of about like 8 weeks or so, she's taken care of at the hospital. And she goes into labor while the sort of doc is in the right outside the hospital having a break. Well, lo and behold, the doctor comes across a guy, a like suspicious, questionable figure, and is fucking killed, and is just fucking killed by this like guy in like a black hoodie.
The doctor kills him, or
no,
the doctor's killed.
like the doctor's killed by this black hooded guy, and he gets murdered, and it's like, oh shit. As Ai Hoshino is given birth to her son and daughter. Her son, Aquamarine, and her daughter, Ruby. Well, what do you know? The doctor and the 12-year-old little girl who died like 4 or 5 years prior to the events of the story are reincarnated into Aqua and Ruby as like the infant son and daughter of pop idol Ai Hoshino. So then it's through the eyes of it. So both him and Ruby both remember their past lives and maintain all of their brain power, and they're able to talk completely normally as like infants and stuff like that. And they need to like keep it on the DL. Because they're infants, because they can't just start talking.
I know. I'm just like keep going. Just keep going. I'll save the comments.
So, Myles, we're on chapter 2 right now. I'm just saying this is a 90-minute episode for a reason, because if this was the first episode, this like 22 minutes right here, the people would not understand. Would not understand. So basically, over the next 8 or so, like 7-8 chapters, it's like sort of going through these little vignettes of the first 3 years of Aqua in Ruby's life. So first they're sort of infants, and they can kind of talk to each other, but they can't really speak to the like adults or the people around them. Otherwise it would cause fucking problems. And then they become, 1 year old, and they're like walking around, and it's like a bit more respectable for them to speak. Aquamarine gets stumbles into this acting gig with this childhood actress who's like really popping off. And he kind of sparks this like relationship with this like director guy who thinks he's like a weird ass kid, because he's a fucking 26-year-old in a 1-year-old's body, so he's got like just weird mannerisms. And both Aquamarine and Ruby love their mother, Ai Hoshino. Ai is back to being an idol. She's trying to make it big and make their group super popular and try to make, bring in a lot of money, because they're kind of coasting right now. Their group's just kind of like doing whatever. They're working, but they're just kind of squeaking by. And that's until chapter 10, when Aquamarine and Ruby are 3 years old now. They've been alive for a couple of years in their new bodies. They're getting used to their new lives. And and also during this time, Aqua has been going on like people's devices and stuff, and he's been trying to look up what happened to him, and nobody's reported his dead body, or nobody's found his like body anywhere, which he's like, okay, that's a little weird. Well, lo and behold, so there's a knock on the front door of the apartment, and Ai Hoshino answers it, and it's the fucking stalker guy that killed the doctor in chapter 1. And he's there with flowers, and he fucking stabs her in the gut, and Ai Hoshino fucking dies. The mother of the story of the person who reincarnated the doctor and the terminally sick girl fucking dies. And then Aqua and Ruby are, of course, completely fucking distraught by their fucking new mother fucking passing away. Aqua is like, he realizes, because basically the stalker guy kills her, fucking flees, and like later like commits suicide or whatever. But he's like, the stalker guy could not have known our location. He needed to have been informed of this. And the only person that would have known where we were is whoever our father is. Who gave, because it's kind of weird, because it's like, who the fuck knocked up this like 16-year-old idol in the fucking story in the first place, right? It's kind of like left to the side as we focus on these like on the reincarnated lives of like these two characters. But now that's the forefront of the story, because 10 years fucking pass, both Ruby and Aqua enter high school, enter like a performance high school, and Aquamarine has to enter and invade the entertainment industry in order to find out who his father is, so he can take revenge for the father sending a hitman to kill, or sending the stalker to kill Ai Hoshino. And he can get his revenge and he can kill his father. And then Ruby, who wanted nothing more in her past life to be like Ai Hoshino and be a idol, she is trying to follow in her mother's footsteps and enter the idol world. So it is a story about the cutthroat world of entertainment while also trying to solve a murder mystery. And that, Miles, is why the first episode of Oshi no Ko is 90 minutes long.
That was fucking exhausting. Like, that was a fucking exhausting
it's a lot of
synopsis.
Story.
Yeah.
It's all, yeah. You couldn't set that up in a Netflix sentence.
You know what?
You know?
No, you could. The problem is you couldn't do it without spoiling it. But like, also the setup is so fucking convoluted in the first place.
It's crazy, right? It's a crazy plot.
Like, I'm assuming that's gonna pay off, but like, I'm already like, wow, there are like 10 steps here you could have cut out. You know?
Here's the deal. You gotta understand that I gave a really fast and loose synopsis of like 10 chapters of story.
I'm sure that, here's the thing, I'm sure that it's really
it reads great.
I'm sure
it reads great.
I'm sure it does. Like, I'm just saying, like the premise itself, like, that must all be like super important later on, because if this was a more straightforward story, you could have cut all this reincarnation shit out. Like,
oh
perfectly.
no, it's definitely
like,
not.
There's definitely something that they're planning to do, but like, what a fucking exhausting setup. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I will say, as far as manga go that's popular in the West, I'd say Oshi no Ko is before this anime adaptation, which I'm sure is just going to make it even more fucking crazy popular. Because the first episode got a lot of love, and I've seen a lot of like memes and shit about it. It's really fucking popular. So I'm assuming it's good. I'm assuming the story continues to be pretty good. I'm on chapter 23 right now. And it's much more, and now it's kind of about like, because it's about like kind of getting in, like, from two different perspectives, getting into the entertainment industry, in Japan. And for that reason, Miles, I think you'd find it pretty interesting or intriguing. Because I know you're familiar with the way that world works a little bit.
America, yeah, but.
Yeah, so I think you might find it a little. I think you might find it interesting in how it works in Japan. It's a good story. It's a good story, but I wanted to bring it up because how do you fucking talk to someone about that shit? Like, how do you even go about like recommending that to someone? You know, like. Other than just telling them, like, yeah, like
I think you just explain it as like an isekai murder mystery, in which like a reincarnated child has to solve the death of his mother, which is
of his reincarnated mother.
Yeah, of his reincarnated mother, upon realizing that the murderer also murdered him in his past life. I think that there's something there, but like the problem is also the entertainment industry. So you would have to spoil that it's an idol, and you would have to spoil that the reincarnation is her kid, right? Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. I think you could definitely truncate that. It just really depends on how much context you want to give to the mother and the that's all very humanizing.
I mean, it's pretty.
What I
feel
would
like
say is this show would be on HBO if it was made in the United States, and every episode would be 60 minutes, which I think is probably a fair amount of time to set all this shit up, right? Like,
oh, you get a lot done. You could probably knock out
what's strange about it is an anime is the fact that it's 90 minutes. Like, it's a 90-minute debut episode. But, like, again...
Yeah, the following episodes will go down to the normal stuff. But the reason why it's so long is because it's just, like, we just got to get all this preamble out in one go.
But you know what? I think that there have been a lot of animes that have just taken the lick of being like, yeah, it doesn't get good till episode 3, sorry. Like, but nowadays... Madoka Magica would probably be one 90-minute episode. I mean, spoilers for Madoka Magica, a show that's 11 years that's 13 years old now. I'm sorry if you missed it. There's 2 movies to watch and a bunch of games. Just I don't know what to tell you. Just experience it if you don't want to hear this fucking spoiler that I'm about to drop in 5 seconds. When mommy fucking gets her head fucking chomped off by a fucking witch. Like, that would be the end of the 90-minute episode. Because that's episode 3, when everyone's like, oh, it's a deconstruction of the magical girl. It's dark and it's Sam, say it with me. Super dark! Yeah, so there you go. Like, that would be the moment. That would be the moment where like, this would be a 90-minute episode. That would be like towards the 70, 80-minute mark as the episode's closing out to make you realize like, oh, I get this Madoka shit. I understand now. And then every episode after is 22 minutes because they can afford to make it. Whereas like in normal Madoka, you got to stick with that shit for 3 episodes.
Yeah, because that's the thing with, like, Madoka Magica, because I've never seen it, by the way, but I'm like, yeah, like, they, like, die and are sad and stuff, like...
It's good, it's a good story, I like Madoka Magica.
I'm sure it's great. Like,
I think it's School better, Live... It's better for me, because I actually like Mahou Shoujo and just shoujo shit in general. That's not really your speed, I know. So, like, I think that...
I like shoujo stuff. I did not really... The magical girl stuff I never really gotten into, though.
Yeah, well, the problem is...
I've never really given it a chance, though, either, so I can't just, like,
I think the problem is that
entirely.
Most magical girl shit is, like, really poorly animated. Like the really iconic ones, obviously there's better ones, and there are ones that are better animated. Like, Pretty Cure is usually pretty well animated. But, like, the most, like, famous ones are so budget. It's really funny.
Can I read any of this shit? Are there any good manga?
I mean, obviously Sailor Moon has a classic manga. You can read that. Princess Knight, that's like a super classical one. Like, if you want to... Hang on. Look at this cover here. Sam, this is this is literally like Godfather of anime, like, quality. And this, by the way, is a thickum.
That's thick. Yeah.
That is a thickum right here.
What's the what? It's a little blurry on Riverside. What's the title of that bad
Princess
boy?
Knight. It's by Osamu
Oh,
Tezuka.
Yeah. The Godfather of manga. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this is a really influential one. I mean, the major thing is there's definitely got to be a lot of good Mahou Shoujo manga, but, like, most Mahou Shoujo that's famous, and that I've seen, personally, are anime. Like, I'm a big Princess Tutu guy, and the problem is, fucking the manga Princess Tutu is a different fucking story entirely. It's just...
What? Okay.
It's just not the same.
Critical question. Manga come before?
After.
Was it?
It's after.
Okay, any manga that comes after the anime sucks.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
Almost all manga adaptations of anime are bad.
Because it's just not what it was. Like, here's the thing. The manga to anime adaptation is usually, like, fine to great, right? Like, I mean, well, sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes it's truly terrible. But, like, it's rare that an anime is just better than the manga, in my personal opinion. I think
like K-On! Is the exception to the rule.
Yes.
You know, like
JoJo is up and down, right? I think that Battle Tendency is better as an anime. I think that I would even say that Phantom Blood might be better as an anime. But everything else is better as a manga.
Yeah, and also too, like, with JoJo falls into the camp of both are excellent.
Yeah. Both are great.
Where it's like you could do both.
Yeah.
Like you could do both.
You can't go wrong
okay.
because the manga obviously has significantly better pacing. That's the major thing. But the anime has style and direction and like just really great sound design, great voice acting, great intensity. So you can do well with either one. But like I think it's generally rare that an anime is just 10 times better than its manga counterpart. It's rare. It happens, but it's rare. It's not so rare that I would recommend manga over anime every single time. Like I've only ever seen the Made in Abyss anime. I like the Made in Abyss anime. I have not read the manga. Apparently the anime has some changes that are better than the manga according to some readers. But like I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is I kind of love Made in Abyss. Made
in Abyss is pretty cool. I watched the first like 6 or 7 episodes.
First of all, it's blatant. That guy's a blatant lolicon, which is really funny. It's just really funny how like he's telling this like dark, mature. Well, I don't even know how mature. I would say it's mature, but it's a pretty dark and harrowing story.
It's pretty fucked up
with a lot of suffering and a lot of dark elements. But like also like all of his barely disguised fetishes are in there. Like no joke, this man definitely likes pee because there's a couple of moments. I don't know. He might
made in pee. No pee in Abyss.
No, it's made in piss. Made in piss. Yeah, something's wrong with that guy.
Piss in Abyss.
Piss. Made in a piss. Something's wrong with that guy. I like it though. I dig it. What's really funny because his only other credit was he was an artist for Konami. Cool. He did a bunch of Konami covers, which clearly is the inspiration for the dark auto cannibalizing ecosystem of Made in Abyss. Konami's the perfect place to inspire that level of just like survive or die mentality, you know? If you ascend too fast, it'll kill you. It's the same thing in Konami. So, yeah, I like Made in Abyss. It's really fucked up and disturbing. But I hear the anime is better. Like, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of little tiny exceptions that are notable. But I would say that most times you should be reading the manga. But like the other advantage of the manga is if the fucking first chapter doesn't grip you, it's not as bad as like the first episode doesn't grip you, right? Because you like then you just get more and it's faster, you know? Like whereas if the first episode doesn't grip you, it feels like a fucking slog. It feels like a fucking slog to get through. Like if episode 1 of Chainsaw Man wasn't good, chapter 1 of Chainsaw Man would be just fine with me. But episode 1 of Chainsaw Man not being good, I would be like, yeah, I'll watch this when I have time, right? Whereas like I wasn't like hooked by chapter 1 of Chainsaw Man, but it was only like fucking 40 pages.
Chainsaw Man takes a good like 30, I think like 35, 40 chapters to get really, really cooking.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's like a critique I have of it that I knew was going to be a problem come the anime, because everyone had been hyping up Chainsaw Man because it's good, but it takes it takes a while to get there. It's good. And so I knew like anime onlys were going to be like, yeah, I don't get this shit.
By the way, most manga is like that. Most manga takes like the best shit. And everyone's favorite manga is in like the middle of the fucking story most of the time. Most of fucking almost always.
Because it takes time to just like, I'm sorry, like you as a writer, it takes a while to just get your own story. You know what your premise is, and you kind of understand like what's interesting about it from an outside perspective. But like once you've been writing it for a while, you know what is worth telling about that story. Whereas when you start it, there's a million possibilities, and all you have is the premise. And so all you can do is just work off the most basic premise. That's why most shows have a lame-ass first season. Like, I can count on maybe one hand instances where shows have like 5 or 6 seasons, and season 1 is still the best one. It's pretty fucking rare. It's pretty fucking rare that this happens. Yeah, but speaking of shows, I guess, we'll get into this. I can't be talking about Better Call Saul. While we're talking about spoilers, though, I will say, the one time spoilers is massively inappropriate is in a fucking thumbnail on fucking YouTube. And here's the thing, if you're some fucking lame, dumb fuck YouTube channel, like named, like, Da Bitch 06 or whatever, and you upload Tears of the Kingdom Final Boss spoilers, and it's just a picture of, by the way, Vati's back at the end of Tears of the Kingdom, or whatever, is the big fucking spoiler at the end of Tears of the Kingdom, the final boss of Tears of the Kingdom. Girahem Demise and Vati all come back. Like,
it's pretty brutal.
Like
that shit's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that would be awful. But this happened in Vanity Fair, Sam, a fucking professional channel that should know better. They spoiled Better Call Saul in the fucking thumbnail of a Vanity Fair. It was one of those Bob Odenkirk answers like questions or whatever. It was him and Rhea Seahorn, and I
watched this exact video,
and the fucking thumbnail told me what happened to Kim Wexler towards the end of the show.
Oh man, what'd it say? What'd the thumbnail say?
I mean,
spoilers for Better Call Saul.
By the way, spoilers that I'm gonna pass on to you. So please skip the next 20 fucking seconds. It said, and I quote, Kim Wexler might have used the vacuum man to disappear and avoid death. And I was like, all right, I guess she's dead. I guess this character that we all love, and we're like just like hoping that like we know something bad is going to happen to her.
Okay,
but whether it's like
quick,
a breakup
Myles,
or not.
Can I cool your jets here real quick? This video that you saw was filmed before season 6 started airing. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but is Kim Wexler alive at the end of season 5? Because I'm at season 5 right now.
You're at season 5. I mean, would you like me to answer that question for you?
Yes.
Yeah. She's doing promo for season 6.
All right, thank God. Okay, cool. Well, hey,
she's doing promo for seasons. It's a. I'm pretty because again, I know the exact video you're talking about. I've watched it after I finished the show. Because I was smart and I didn't look up anything about. But
the problem is that like it's through Google results. Like,
oh no!
Like, it was just a case of like I was reading about Breaking Bad. I'm interested in the television. You know, I'm interested in the production of it. I'm interested in.
You gotta read the TV tropes.
Yeah, I read the trivia page from TV tropes. Like, I'm interested in that shit, right? And then
did you know that Combo wanted to be make it all the way to the end of the show, but they didn't like his attitude, so they killed him off. They were originally gonna kill Skinny Pete off, but Combo was too difficult. I'm making a bullshit, by the way. It's all fake.
A fun fact is that Tuco's own actor requested that he die because he didn't like the character. He thought he didn't like acting so violently as a character.
Oh wow, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, like he got cast, and I guess he didn't realize like how violent Tuco was as a person, which makes sense. Like, he beats a man to death with his fist and then cheers, like, you know. So he felt uncomfortable with the character, and he was like, "Yeah, can you just like murder me?" And they were like, I guess. And then when he appears again, they probably had a contract to get him for like 3 episodes because he didn't want to do Tuco again that much. But
I'm shocked they got him back in Better Call Saul.
No, when I heard that, I was like I'm surprised he showed up at all. Like, that he was willing to do it. And it might have just been they might have just told him up front, like, hey man, you're only going to be in 2 episodes. Don't be too uncomfortable. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's only I think maybe like 3 or 4 episodes total, but like not that much screen time.
And he's got some tender moments with his abuelita, like, you know, couple little things like that.
Yeah, you see some sides to him that you just don't in Breaking Bad, which is part of the reason why Better Call Saul is so much fun to watch as a Breaking Bad fan.
And so I imagine that probably helped soften the deal a little bit. Like, he was willing to, you know, to do it, especially because Breaking Bad had become so iconic. But like, I've watched a lot of
what episode in season 5, by the way, you on?
I just finished the episode where Jimmy decides to represent the old man who's living in the lot that the bank Mesa Verde wants to.
Okay, cool.
And he also throws bowling balls through Howard Hamlin's window, his car.
Yeah. God, man, you're in the thick of it now, dude. Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, speaking of TV, I did have a stupid fucking thing I wanted to do for this episode.
Yeah, hit me with it. We can go a little long.
Sam, I was talking about. So I'm a big Ned head, as we all know. I'm a fan.
Where are my Ned heads at?
Dude, where are the other Ned heads? There's no other Ned heads in this Crackhouse.
Where are my Declassifieds at? Where are my survivalists?
Where are my school survivalists? Yeah, like, so I was just thinking, for some fucking reason, so I'm working on a big project, and I'm procrastinating hard, Sam. I'm procrastinating real fucking hard. I'm terrible. Dude, I can't fucking write
If only there was a Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide that you could follow.
Sam, I learned all about structured procrastination from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. And so what I've been doing is...
Break it down for us. How does it work?
So what I've been doing is, I'm really bad at structuring, and I'm really bad at, like, intros and stuff, and I'm really bad at transitions. So what I've been doing is I will just write, a paragraph or however much comes to me of a specific topic. I'll just like mark it as the topic, right? And I'll just write all that I can out of it, and I'll just put it in a doc, leave it there. And when it's time to put the whole thing together, I'll put everything together that I have, and I'll just go and rewrite from there and connect it all and reorganize from there. And that it's like moving shit around on flashcards, right? So I'm able to basically just write a little bit at a time. And I kind of wish that I had come up with this before. Like if I just started like doing one paragraph every day, like in fucking March or whatever, like shit would have been cash. I would have been done. By now, and it just would have been a fucking mess, and I would have had to do a rewrite, but it just would have been done, and it would have been great. And you smash it all together and call it a day. So structured procrastination is just that. You break big tasks down into tiny little tasks, and then you put them together at the end. So I decided, Sam, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide is so helpful in middle school. How helpful would it be as a fucking 50-year-old man that I am? Okay.
Yeah. And
so I put together the 5 most helpful Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide episodes for adults. Number 5, daydreaming. Now this episode, this is a little bit of a bullshit pick, but it's good because it's got some psychology to it. It explains the psychology of daydreaming. In this episode, everyone is caught daydreaming in Mr. Sweeney's class, and Mr. Sweeney decides...
Everyone? Everyone?
Basically, yes. I mean, it's a fucking show for babies, Sam. Of course they're going to get caught. Everyone's going to daydream. And so Mr. Sweeney says, since you've wasted so much of my class daydreaming, I'm going to waste some of your time. You guys don't get to go to lunch. Even though it's pizza day, I'm going to hold you hostage. And you have to play a word game. You have to figure out this riddle, right? And so he says, the 3 hints are, it's in this room, you can find it on the web, and it spins. And so he gives these hints throughout the episode, right?
Oh, it's a spider.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes. And,
I am a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, basically, no, I think the other one is, it's in this room and you can find it on a web. The other one is water, wolf, and trapdoor. And, it spins. I think. It might be water, wolf, and trapdoor is the third one, and I just added it spins because I'm an idiot. I don't know. Fuck it. Anyways, I'm confused. But Ned daydreams that he's a secret agent. Mose is his sidekick.
Is this the episode where they drive the car in the school?
They drive the car in the school. And
iconic episode.
And the Fairly Odd Parents show up.
Oh my god,
obviously,
this episode.
And it's so funny because the animation on them is so bad. Like it's like as cheap as they can get it. The green screen's terrible. Their lip flap is god awful. Like, it's just like, what's the cheapest animation we can get for the Fairly Odd Parents? But it's helpful because it explains the most basics of psychology of daydreaming. That it's just our way of taking information and like breaking it down and making it palatable. So,
but how is this an episode that's helpful for adults?
It's just good to know how your mind works. Just pretty good to know how your mind works, you know?
Oh, okay.
Now, the other option was going to be bad habits, but I forgot what happened in that episode. And I saw the title and I said, I assume
but the daydreaming episode was better, so we're picking that.
Well, no, I actually remember what the lesson of it, like the explanation that they gave about daydreaming. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty useful. I assume that bad habits is more useful as an adult. Okay, number 4, when you like someone who is going out with someone else. This, when you're an adult,
is that the
massive.
survival guide to
yeah, and it's really funny because it's like too long and it goes off the page. Like a good little.
Okay, do they make like a little gag out of it being way too complicated?
Yeah, they make it a little gag. It's pretty nice. The last episode, which is field trips, permission slips, signs, and weasels, is great too. There's also the Halloween episode, Survival Guide to Zombies. To Vampires, Werewolves, and Ghosts. Zombies and Ghosts. So that's fun. Anyways, when you like someone who is going out with someone else, just really helpful, good advice about what to do, how to keep yourself occupied, how to respect someone else, how to make these choices.
What are some of the hot tips?
I don't remember.
Dude,
that well.
you want the only tip of all of Ned's Declassified that I like? It is singed in my fucking memory for some reason. It is in the episode Mondays. Survival Guide to Mondays. Ned suggests that you should go do something fun on a Monday, like go to the movie theater. And I'm like, my mom's not gonna take me to the fucking theater on a Monday, Ned. Are you fucking kidding me? And that specific tip has always just remained in my fucking skull. Not a great tip for adulthood, maybe. Maybe it actually is, Drive yourself to the movie theater.
Yeah, so number 3, stressing out. This is really useful. We all get stressed, especially as adults. How do you handle stressing out? How do you stay calm? Great episode. Number 2 is Mondays. And the reason I bring this up is, like, the advice is very salient. If you have something that you're not looking forward to, find a way to balance it with some positives. Yeah. And we all work. We all have to go back into work on Monday. It's great. It's just great to have that perspective. But that episode's really funny because he keeps trying to come up with Monday tips, and he's trying to make Mondays fun days, and one of his decisions is Monkey Monday, where they get a monkey to show up at the school, and the monkey starts maiming people. And
holy shit.
He comes
it's
up
like
with
nope.
Yeah, a later episode he comes up with matzo, or a later part of the episode comes up with matzo ball Monday, and the monkey starts chucking matzo balls at everyone. It's just great. Yeah, it's exactly Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide is exactly like Nope. You're so right. And of course, number 1 is Survival Guide to Aliens That Live in the Clouds. This is really useful. All the advice about horses, like not looking them in the eyes. These are Nope jokes, fans.
Oh.
Little Nope jokes.
Anyways, I've actually not seen that movie. I just know about that scene because animals mauling humans is a particularly interesting topic for me.
I don't know if you would like it. I think you would be like, what happened? But it might be just weird enough for you to dig. I don't know. I like that Jordan Peele is like an American weirdo. One of the few like American weirdos. Because like obviously there's a lot of like really weird creators out there. But like Jordan Peele is more of like he's not a surrealist, and he's not a like art fuck, but he's also not like wacky, like he's not like a like a cartoonist or whatever. He's just a guy who likes weird things and like just tells these very strange stories. He would fit kind of in the new weird category, I guess, which is why he and Hideo Kojima are friends, apparently. Which is so dope. It's actually,
I can't wait to see Jordan Peele in Death Stranding 2.
He will be, dude. I'm
sorry, excuse me, DS2.
DS2. We don't know what the title is. Dude, he gave him a fucking BB. He showed up at his house and gave him a BB. Like, that's amazing. He just gave it to him. He didn't give it to me. The famous story of Hideo Kojima saying that he got a call from Mamoru Oshii, director of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, Pat Labor, Angel's Egg, all these things.
Some certified hood classics.
Yeah, some like Urusei Yatsura and Beautiful Dreamer. He called him and he said, "Hey, I'm with Cameron, I'm with James, as in James Cameron. We're shooting guns here in America. Do you want to come?" And then Hideo Kojima on his podcast says, through like, Aki, his English voice translator, he said, "Unfortunately, I had work that day, so I wasn't able to go." And it's just like the most, that's the most Japanese thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That you get invited to shoot guns in the synagogue with James Cameron, director of T2 and fucking Titanic. In fucking 1998, he's in his fucking prime. He's in peak physical condition. He's with Mamoru Oshii, one of maybe the most famous Japanese director, not named Hayao Miyazaki at this point in time, anime director, I should say, at this point in time. I'm probably wrong about that.
And that he's like, bro, James, I got a guy.
Yeah, we got to call up my man, Hideo Kojima. And I'm sure James Cameron already knew who Hideo Kojima was. Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
I like, if this was 98 or 99, he would probably know Metal Gear Solid. And if not, like, he's gonna learn.
Not a gamer.
Yeah, he might not be a gamer. I know he's like an OG, like, weeb. Like, true OG, yellow subs VHS tape weeb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he probably would know Metal Gear.
Yeah, so he might know Metal Gear, but Kojima said, "Sorry, guys, I have work today." And he couldn't go and shoot guns in the synagogue with James Cameron and Mamoru Oshii. And I just want to say you should kill yourself now, because you'll never literally never get to shoot guns with James Cameron, Mamoru Oshii, and Hideo Kojima. Your life is it's done. There's nothing for you on this earth. How are you gonna live?
That's sick, man. I wish I could just shoot. All right, Miles. Top
Who'd you
3
shoot
game
guns with?
developers who would you shoot guns with?
Shinji fucking Mikami. Shinji fucking Mikami has said, and I quote, "There is nothing more satisfying than a man shooting another man with a gun." And we know that he believes this because he made Resident Evil 4. The best gunplay maybe ever, probably not, but maybe ever, maybe, big maybe, ever. I would fucking shoot a gun with Shinji Mikami because you know what? He would have some fucking opinions on that. And it might even help him to make a better game. I can help him to make a better game. Made fucking.
Oh, that's what this all is this backdoor, this gun sesh is.
No, I just mean like we might learn something about guns that he can integrate into his next game, and that would be fucking awesome. That I could be a part of that. That I could help genius sprout because I fired guns with Shinji fucking Mikami. Now
I fired guns with Shinji Megami and Mikami, and that was a new game as Active Reload.
Yeah, it's like why the fuck not? You know what? Why the fuck not, Sam? So Hideo Kojima has work. I can't say Hideo Kojima, obviously.
Yeah, he's too busy.
He's too busy. He's got work today, man. Now here's the question: does it have to be someone who I think has a relationship to guns, or does it just have to be someone?
No, not necessarily. You can shoot guns with anyone.
Okay. I would shoot guns.
It's the first time for everything.
That's true. Sam, I would shoot guns with Hidemaru Fujibayashi.
Oh, sick.
Director of Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, Tears of the Kingdom, and I think Minish Cap. I would absolutely shoot guns with Hidemaru Fujibayashi because it would just be so fucking sick to just chill with fucking Hidemaru Fujibayashi and be like, yo, how'd you do it, man? How'd you save Zelda? How'd you turn it around? How'd you turn it around like that?
I can't believe this shit was going to the trash so fast, man.
Yeah. After Skyward Sword, too. Like, damn, son. What'd you do? What'd you have to do? How many dicks you have to suck to save Zelda, man? Like, so yeah.
Alrighty. I
do have to say my third one.
Oh, I thought you gave 3.
No, I only gave 2. I said Hideo Kojima's too busy, so I can't be shooting guns with Hideo Kojima.
My mistake.
And I think that the last person that I would shoot guns with, Sam. Oh man, so I'm actually torn. I'm a little torn, but I am going to make a decision here, okay? I would shoot guns with Yoshi P.
Yoshi P.
I would shoot guns with Yoshi P.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Yoshi P, first of all, we both have a mutual dislike for black people, so that's great. That's a joke, by the way. Except for the Yoshi P part. He might actually not like black people, apparently. I don't know. Hey, man, you know what? It's fine. We can get that anger out. We'll shoot those guns, get that anger out, okay? Shoot the guns at cans, at white targets. It'll be okay.
Yeah, none of those blacked outline human.
Yeah,
pimps.
none of the black
none
outline
of those
humans.
here.
He might let something slip. Slip in Yoshi.
Oh man. Oh, dude, shooting guns with Yoshi P would probably be pretty.
Oh yeah,
probably pretty sick. I bet he can handle a shotgun pretty well.
Oh yeah. I might also shoot guns with the lead developer of Monster Hunter as well. I don't know his name. I should, but he'd be fun.
Oh yeah. I was also thinking Hideaki Itsuno from Devil May Cry. He could be pretty fun to shoot guns with, I imagine. Here are my picks. I want to shoot guns with Toshihiro Nagoshi, creator of Yakuza and Super Monkey Ball and Daytona USA.
He would have some opinions
because I bet that man has opinions on firearms and opinions on life in general. I'd love to spend 60 minutes just
hear
around.
His wisdom, you know?
Yeah, hear his wisdom over whizzing gunfire. I'd want to go shoot guns with Hideki Naganuma because that would just sounds extreme.
We're gonna call that a game developer. We are gonna say he's a game developer.
That's close enough.
Yeah,
close enough. I just meant somewhat involved in games.
Oh well,
if
that's the case, I actually would have had a couple different picks.
Oh, okay. Do you want to shoot one off? I'm still thinking of my third.
Well, okay. If you're still thinking of your third one, yeah. If we're talking people who are involved in games,
yeah, someone involved in the development process.
Okay, someone involved in the development process. You know what? I would actually change my fucking vote. I would change it away from Hidemaru Fujibayashi. I would change it to I forget his name. Both the co-directors of Splatoon.
Oh, okay.
I forget their names, but they're younger guys. They're like 30, 40, right? Like, so they'd be fucking fly as fuck.
Wait a minute, why didn't they count earlier?
Because I forgot.
You're like, oh, wait, they could be any... Oh, okay.
Because I forgot their name. And here's the thing.
Okay.
If we are going for people who are, like, just involved in game development, right? Like, not necessarily... Like, if we're talking, like, a composer or whatever, or producer.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to shoot guns with Yuzo Koshiro.
Yeah, no.
Which sounds awesome.
Obviously. I would actually want to shoot guns with fucking Keiichi Okabe, who did the soundtrack to fucking Nier and Nier Automata. I think that he would turn, because he's got great percussion, and I think that he would be inspired by all the percussive sounds of shooting guns, and it would be awesome.
Remix of this could not continue, but and then let's see who's my third guy. Who do you
I'm
think?
gonna give you an easy Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Oh yeah, we can go shoot guns with Miyazaki. I don't know how much. I wonder how much gun love that guy has.
I don't think he has any gun love. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. But then again, he is an Armored Core alum. He might love guns.
Yeah, true. Maybe I'd love to. I mean, I guess it's the reason to shoot guns with him. Did you talk to him about it?
Yeah. How do you feel about firearms? How do you feel about the assassination of Shinzo Abe? You know, ladies and gentlemen, they got him.
Yeah. Anyways, that's been Crackhouse for this week. This is a fun action-packed episode.
A lot of gun talk, both fictional and real.
Yeah. If you like guns, make sure to join our Discord. Share us your favorite gun. Tell us what game developers you'd like to shoot with.
We're giving away a free Blacktail.
Yeah, we're giving away a free Blacktail and a free Red 9 to the 100th caller.